All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Alchemy Podcast. Fired up for today's guest, Ponyboy himself, Max Jones. Welcome, brother.
Thanks for having me.
I was driving out here thinking about our relationship, our friendship. It's been a couple of years, and I realized I don't even know where the nickname Ponyboy came from. Right, so people call you Ponyboy, right? Pony.
Yeah.
Right? I don't even know the origin. It's just like one of those things. Someone called you Ponyboy one time. Everyone calls you Ponyboy. And I'm like, all right, I guess we're calling him Ponyboy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
what's the origin of the nickname?
It's a funny origin. When it was my rookie year, I came out to summer, and you know how Zaza runs everything with Meraki. You know, everyone's got a nickname.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm just like fresh rookie Ponyboy, 18 years old. And they tried to give me the nickname Mad Max. And I was like, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, that's not your vibe.
Not my vibe at all. So when I was leaving to summer, the day before I left, my good friend, Mozzie, when we were growing up, we had this movie, The Outsiders. It was in our curriculum. And like some people had told me that like I resembled Ponyboy from The Outsiders. People from Utah will know like, hey, they had that in like 6th or 7th grade.
Sure.
But when I was leaving, he was just like, stay golden, Ponyboy. And this is like, I'm just going to this random venture, never been in door-to-door before. And he said, stay golden. And then I got out there. And also when I get hyped for the doors, I just go like, I just get fired up. Yeah. Just it gold.
It's cool, man, because I've been lucky because, you're a longtime member of Alchemy. We've worked one-on-one for a long time. Just from my perspective, to watch your progression. Like when you first came into Alchemy, at least, even for door-to-door, you were just like felt like a young kid.
Yeah.
Just like bright-eyed, not sure what's going on. And now, after a couple of years, I've really seen you establish yourself as like a leader, as a top performer, and truly like in the door-to-door sales space, you've been a great example of like genuine and authentic growth, of like doing it the right way, being patient, not skipping steps, being very coachable, like looking towards mentors, right? And so talk to me a little bit about who is Ponyboy today versus who is Ponyboy at 18 walking in those Vivint doors for the first time.
I'll start with today. Just some background on me. I'm working at Sunrun right now under Zach Anderson. I'm a part of Meraki. The region
Meraki
over there.
boys get wild.
Yeah. The Rugrats of Sunrun. Yeah. I'll be going into my 5th year.
Yeah.
Wow. That's weird to say
crazy
out loud.
Yeah.
Just like that.
So was 2020 your first year?
No, I graduated high school in 2022.
Yeah.
So is it my 5th year?
Can't
4th or 5th? I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, working at Sunrun right now. I personally manage about like 12 guys this past summer and starting to just continue to blow that up. When I started, I was fresh out of high school. I was getting into the space, and I was really like, the main things that were really important to me was like, I don't want to be on a team with a bunch of sales douche bros. Yeah. Like that's just kind of the persona that, and door-to-door gets a bad rap in Utah. Like I'll be honest, like a lot of people have this stereotype about it. So it was like, that was a big thing. And then I also wanted to make sure I got paid because I had heard a lot of things about, just the horror stories of door-to-door. So yeah, coming out of high school, I knew Jackson Baudouin. He's
the one who recruited you?
He is.
Yep.
Yeah. I was the easiest recruit ever.
What do you mean?
I reached out to Jax. I was talking to actually my buddy's pest control company. His brother was a manager, and that was pretty short-lived because I talked to him, then I talked to Jax. Jax told me how pest work. Came back, talked to his brother. He gave me a better percentage than his own brother. I'm like, okay, screw you, dude. Like, you're not trustworthy at all.
Sure.
And so I'm with Jax. We're at Vivint's campus in Provo or Orem. And I walk into the room. It's Zach Anderson, Caleb Latier, and Jax.
The boys.
I have no idea who anyone is. This is like my first recruiting meeting, right? And Zach was just like, hey, dude, honestly, I don't know you. Like, I could care less if you come with us. Do not sign at any pest company under 60%. And currently I'm talking about getting signed at 32%. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, you just pulled back hard on me right now. Like,
made you think a little bit.
Made me think a lot. Yeah. Ended up actually going out with Jackson and Zach and, rookie year.
And where were you guys?
We were in Little Rock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The first year. Yeah. Little
Were
Rock.
you guys living at Fountain Blue?
No,
No, Fountain
we
Blue,
were
the
living.
apartments at Little Rock, the OG days.
So Zach and them were at Fountain Blue, but I got out there late. I got out there like June 9th. And so, because I just graduated high school.
Yeah.
And so we were in like extended stay apartments. We were maybe at the Fountain Blue. We weren't even staying there, but we like met there. We were there for maybe a week or so, and then we all shipped up to Jonesboro for a satellite office.
Cool.
So yeah, first year came out. I was really just a fresh greenie, like just happy to be there, really curious. Like,
was the experience overwhelming for you, or did you ever, kind of just going through the motions? Because one thing I just want to highlight too, kind of extending the question, it seems like you've always had like this hunger for like growth, and I want more, and I want to be a better leader and whatnot. Did you enter the door space that way, or was that something that kind of came up later on?
that's a great question. I would say I had the hunger to start out. Like, I didn't know what I was capable of by any means, but I'd come out, I'm like, hey, I'm going to give it 100%.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to come out and not do that. So I would say it was overwhelming because I came out with 2 or 3 friends. Both of them left within like a month.
So they were out.
Yeah. And I didn't know Jax or anyone on the team. I knew Jax from high school because our friend groups used to have beef. Like, he was a senior and I was a sophomore. Yeah, won't get into that. But it was like I knew nobody. So I come out there, and by a month in, probably less than a month, all my friends are gone. My roommate I came out with is gone. And I'm just like this 18-year-old kid in the middle of Little Rock, Arkansas, just the boonies. We're out knocking Pine Bluff. Was like my second week, maybe even my first week. We're in Pine Bluff. For those of you that don't know Pine Bluff, they call it Crime Bluff. Like, literally my first week, I remember walking down the street and I'm like perpendicular here. I turn the corner and just switches going off, like 40 shots. I'm 18. I sprint to the other side of my hood, and then I call Jax. I'm like, dude, pick me up. Like, there's shots going off. And he's just like, yo, like, use it in your pitch, bro. Go transition. I'm like, are you serious right now? And I did use it in my pitch, transition, and sold one, which is funny. But it was just like terrifying. I was super overwhelmed, to be honest. But I was like, let's put on a brave face. Let's go as hard as possible. Ended up this summer, I was honestly below average. Like, I was maybe average, below average.
Let's talk about a moment, because the way I see it is like you had a very pivotal moment there, right? You don't know any of these guys. You're throwing into the hood, right?
Yeah.
Gunshots are in. You're going on in your neighborhood. All of your friends have left, right? And it'd been so easy for you to go home too, right? Like there's like this moment I can like visualize it, like you in your apartment, it's emptied out, you're by yourself. I don't know these people. You're doing one of the hardest jobs ever, right? And you decided to stick it out, right? Then there's like this, I call it these pivot moments where we make a different decision, our whole life can change, right? You could have very easily decided to go home then, right? And your whole life would look different. You decided to stay. What do you attribute that to? What was the process of like weighing out your options, and what encouraged you to stay?
I didn't even think about going home.
Yeah. Wasn't even an option.
It wasn't even a thought in my head. Because like when I started, I'm like, I'm going to finish the summer.
Yeah.
I knew what was capable of if I just stayed out there and stuck it through. Like, when they went home, like, to be honest, I was like, really? Like, like I was kind of put off by, I still love these guys to death, but I was like kind of blown away.
Yeah. So you just this mentality, like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Right. So so obviously you finished the summer, you did a little bit below average, right? What kept you coming back?
I mean, I still made like 26 grand.
Yeah.
And I was stoked.
Now, we're coming out of high school. That's $1 million when you're 18 years old in high school.
I came out with like $500 in my bank account. I'm like, I'm coming home, bought a set of golf clubs, bought a car, paid for college. And I was like, I'm set. Like, I don't even have to work. Like, this is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So walk us through this. So when did the light bulb turn on for you to see more of a bigger vision, right? Because your mindset, when you come in the job, you're 18 years old, 26 grand is so much money.
Yeah.
Right? Now you're playing just a completely different game. Right. So talk to us a little bit about about vision and the importance of having a strong vision. And when did like you see the vision of what this opportunity was for you?
Yeah. I think vision is the most important thing. I think people that don't make it long-term have no vision. That's why they fall out. My vision started probably after my second year, because my original plan was, hey, my vision is when I'm 18, I'm going to go be a financial advisor or a pilot or something. And I'm just going through the motions, associates. But My second year was when I decided like, hey, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to hit, I think I hit like 1 or 2 blitz trips because I was still in college. And that was when I like really doubled down. Like, dude, my rookie year, I was not a star at all. Like I slept through a meeting. I remember they came and dumped a massive bucket of water on me because I slept through the meeting. But yeah, that second year I really decided to go all in. Like I took it from like I sold 42 accounts at Vivint. I sold like 120.
Yeah. So you went 42 to 120.
Yeah.
That's a massive jump.
Yeah.
3x your performance, right?
Yeah.
Right. Would you attribute that to leadership? Would you attribute it to sales skills? Would you attribute it to mindset? Like, I mean, how do you 3x your production in 1 year?
I owe it to, I would say leadership was a big part, like Cruiser, Matty Ice, Jax, Zaw, like best mentors I could have had at that point. But that second year was actually like way harder to produce because we were in Georgia, and I can dive into that after I answer your first question. But I would attribute it to being 2 feet in, I would say, was literally the only thing. Yeah. Like one of the only things, like main difference was being 2 feet in instead of 1.
Yeah. So for you specifically on a personal level, what did it look like being 1 foot in, 1 foot out versus 2 feet in? What specific changes did you make within your own life to actually be 2 feet in? What did that look like for you?
Yeah. So after I had finished college that second year, or before the second year, I mean, I was doing online. I was in like gender studies online because I had just applied for every class super late. I'm like, dude, screw this. Got a D and a C and some other crappy grades. And was just like, this is my last time being done. Let's go all in right now. Like, let's see what we can do. So I would say burning my boats, first off, which everyone knows that story. Second off was actually dialing in my routine. I was studying every morning, like top 10, gym. And a big part for me was I had to go and learn like what bandwidth was. Like I had to understand like positivity, like keeping a strong positive attitude towards every single day and just having to keep resetting it. Like yesterday's problems don't matter. Tomorrow's problems don't matter. Just go.
Yeah.
And that was really hard for me that year because that year was like the entire team was negative. Everyone was blaming the market. Like
this was the Georgia year. Yeah.
And my roommates were negative. I brought out one rookie and it sucked. Like, to be honest, it sucked because I remember having conversation with Jax, just like, hey, I'm only going to hang out around you. Like, I cannot handle this because I was at 65 accounts going into mid-July. And I'm just like, Jax, like, I didn't know anything about leadership by that point, but I could sense like, hey, this is not being ran good.
Yeah.
When people are breaking other people's headlights before meeting and people are arguing in meeting and like people are, what's that, Georgia? Somebody tried to stab someone at meeting with a pen.
Yeah.
It's 9 a.m. on a Saturday.
So it's
and
just
I'm just
toxic culture.
Toxic, like terrible. And so I literally had to go and separate myself entirely from everyone on the team. Like all my roommates, like I was like, all right, it's me. Like, let's go figure this out. And I'm so grateful for it because it was one of the most important things I had to learn is like, I remember talking to Zaw. He's like, hey, you're with these people an hour out of the day. If you're letting this affect your other 23 hours, that's on you. And that was a huge like light bulb moment of, oh shit, I can't blame them for me not producing.
Yeah.
I need to take accountability, go separate myself, create maybe a sphere where I can be positive and produce and go do it. And that's why I ended up number 2 behind Jax on the year and gapped everyone else. Is just simply because I had to go and separate. I had to go rededicate myself and go accomplish because I'm like, we're not out here for no reason.
Yeah. One thing that I noticed too a lot especially in the door space, there are a lot of people who are in very toxic cultures and it's just a lot of negativity, a lot of blame game, right? You are able to be at that experience, having that type of culture and able to separate yourself, right? So what are some things you did like on maybe habits or rituals or daily disciplines that you did consistently to raise your vibe per se when you were, when the toxicity was around you? What were some things you did to maybe uplift your spirits so you weren't pulled down into that negativity?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like thinking back and remembering in meetings, like I would participate, but I wouldn't I had to kind of paradigm shift and be like, hey, I'm not going to let this stuff affect me.
Sure.
Was the first thing. But like to keep my vibe up, I had to go obviously to the gym. Like I had to get my mind right. The gym I realized was like, okay, I'm not going to the gym to get huge or like hit any goals. I'm going to the gym so I can emotionally regulate correctly
100%.
and be on the right frequency. And I would say like that was huge. It was more of just cutting things out instead of adding things.
And what are the things you cut out?
Anytime that people would be negative, I'd just say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't have the bandwidth for this right now. It would just protect my boundary there.
Yeah.
I stopped hanging around some people. Anytime I heard I would ear knock with people, I stopped ear knocking with people.
What is ear knocking?
So like you have like an AirPod in and you're both knocking doors.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
And my first year when I did it was awesome because me and my friend Augie would just both when you're snapping, you're snapping.
Yeah.
And like you're just both hucking and it's
Yeah.
sick. But
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
It's a new meta,
That'd
new
be
tech
fun.
out right now.
I like it.
It's like Xbox Live
Yeah.
while you're knocking doors. It's funny.
Sure.
But yeah, I would say it was more of cutting things out. It was cutting out, hanging around people after the doors. I had to kind of go and just journal, talk to myself, hang out with myself, which was also weird because I hadn't done that a lot. And yeah, I was just not allowing that stuff to affect me, not allowing people to talk negative around me. And when I had to be around it, just kind of like staying even keel until I'm on the doors. Once I'm on the doors and we're going and we're keeping our good vibe because that's how you get deals. That's how you go thrive.
I mean, that's so huge. I mean, I'm such a big proponent. I know a lot of us heard this, but it's just this concept that you truly are a product of your environment, right? You hang out with 4 people who vape, who's going to be the 5th person that vapes, right? If you hang out with 4 people that are millionaires, who's going to be the 5th person that's a millionaire?
Right.
So it's just so powerful and inspiring to see that you were in maybe an unhealthy environment and you were still able to separate yourself from that and get production.
Yeah.
One thing I want to talk about too, more of a personal level, I know that you had a summer where you had kind of like a dark night of the soul phase, right? Dealing with some intense depression and some overwhelm and some panic. And from my perspective, having, we were coaching together at the time, it was really inspiring to me to see you pull yourself out of it, right? There were some times where like, and I've been there too, right? My darkest time of my life was in Little Rock, 2000 and summer 2018. I just gotten dumped by a girl who I thought I was going to marry. I wasn't the king of Vivint anymore. I just kind of left the religion I was raised in. Like a lot of mindsets and beliefs were changing really quickly. And I was super depressed, and I look back at that summer, I pulled myself out. And so I know you went through something similar. So tell us a little bit about that dark summer and how you were able to pull yourself out.
Yeah. I'll get pretty vulnerable here on it because you know most of the story, but just for the viewers, it was the same year. It was the Georgia year. It was interesting the way it started because my routine was the most dialed it had ever been. And I think the kicker was I had this week where I ran like 40 credits or something and sold like 1 or 2. And I was tweaking out, like, just like, what the hell's going on? And it was probably, to be honest with you, it was like mid-June until January. I was waking up anxious all day, going to bed anxious, waking up, same shit, different day. And it compounded and was a really dark time for me, like a very dark time for me. I was like literally like trying to fix everything in my, and this is going to literally attribute to your saying, but I was fixing everything in my routine, like wake up 6 a.m. We're in a Red Roof Inn. Like there's a baby goat that lives here and the cops came and like, it was like a prostitution ring hotel. Yeah. And at least we had a free ice machine that we could fill up the ice bath out back. Yeah. It was sick. So I was waking up at 6, ice bath, gym, journal, and nothing was changing. And I'm kind of freaking out because I'm like, okay, usually I can fix my routine and I'm
doing
good.
The thing, right?
I'm doing everything. And, as I was going to say, it attributes to you don't have a sales problem. You have a personal problem affecting your sales. I had a major life problem. I didn't know what it was. And it was freaking me out because I wouldn't change how I felt. Like during that time, like it was hard to get out of bed. Like it was just facing demons anytime I'm awake. I'd rather be asleep. Like it was a dark, dark place.
Yeah.
And it wasn't up until like I finished out summer in that dark place. And it wasn't up until the event we had in California in the desert. I forgot what venue it was, but for the Alchemy event.
The Alchemy Summit, yeah.
Yeah, the summit. I met Stariel, and great woman. Love Star. She's the best. I've done some work with her. But I'm just like talking to her, and I loved that it would, I guess the environment change up that you had created there, just like getting super uncomfortable and like super open helped me to just like it was the most peace I've felt since that dark time. Like, it was like, oh, finally a breath of fresh air. And I was still pretty anxious and angsty and, feeling weird, but I went and talked to Star, and I kind of like dissected it with her. Like, I was crying, like figuring out what the hell's going on. And she just keeps asking me questions, getting down to the bottom of it. Turns out I found out, okay, what's happening right now is the same thing that happened to me when I was in 7th grade, right? That was my other dark time. I was very depressed as a young child, and it was because of the way that my dad had spoken to me, like kind of like a verbal abuse growing up. And like, I remember in 7th grade, like there was times where I was just like in the closet, just crying, like really just like, I'm not worth shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not worth anything. And that point had gotten to a peak where I literally almost took my life. I was like 13 or 14, and it was really hard. Like, if it wasn't for my friend, I won't say his name, but me and him, it was one I blew up on all my friends, and he took me aside and he talked me through it. Like, if it wasn't for him that night, I probably would have been not here on this podcast right now. And so fast forward to this dark time, I realized, okay, this is a reoccurring pattern because I'm feeling the same emotions that I felt when I was 14. Why am I feeling these emotions? I was talking to myself. My self-talk was so mean and so negative that it had just reminded me of, well, my internal physiology was just acting as if my dad was doing the same thing. I love my dad now, just so you know. Like, me and my dad have the best relationship ever.
You
He's the
repaired that
man.
relationship.
Yeah, we did.
Beautiful.
Which is awesome. But I was just talking to myself like, you suck. You're the worst. Like, you cannot do this. Like, and it just compounded. And that was really what got me. Like, I remember calling Matty Ice. I'm up at college after the Alchemy Summit, and I'm just like, dude, I'm so dumb. Like, blah, 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 blah. All this story. And he's like helping me out through it. I'm just breaking down in this random parking lot, like fucking 1 a.m., And it took me practice. It took me shadow work with you and some stuff with Star. And it was a consistent effort to like heal that child, see that child inside my heart, to go woo woo. And, those of you that don't believe in woo woo, rethink it. Like, you should.
Yeah. Dive into the woo.
But yeah, I had to go and heal that part of me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like an overnight thing. It was a process over that time. And now it's good. Like, I practice positive self-talk all the time. And yeah, it was a really dark time. It was really hard.
Share some of those insights with us, because I know, I struggle with self-talk sometimes. I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that struggle with self-talk. So
yeah,
I would assume that voice hasn't completely gone away, right? But how do you handle the negative self-talk when it does show up? How do you navigate that space today?
Few ways. I first have to, the best way that I can handle it is by giving it a name and differentiating it from my current identity. When I'm on the doors and I have something happen and, everyone has this voice that's just like, maybe not everyone, I think they all do, of a tint of self-hatred, And when I recognize that and I see that happening, I just try to not let it compound on itself. I try to be like, okay, hold on. Is this story real? It's the same process we've done. You ask yourself, is this true? Can I prove without a doubt this is 100% true? Mm-hmm. How do I act when I feel this way? How would I act if I never thought this? And that really goes and helps to kind of differentiate it, because then you give it a voice, like you give it a persona. Yeah. And you say, hey, this is not Pony.
Let's actually go through that process, because it's so powerful. I actually want the listeners I want to teach here in this moment here. So cool. The way it works is it's a 4-part question. This is actually Byron Katie's work. Okay. It's called The Work, right? And it's 4 questions. So what you do is, the moment you have an unpleasant thought, a disruptive thought, a negative self-talk thought, you take it through 4 questions. Completely changes your relationship to it. So, for example, give us a negative self-talk thought that might show up.
I'm not a top rep.
I'm not a top rep. Great. So what you do is you write out that first line, I'm not a top rep. And you take it through these 4 questions. Question number 1, is that true? And you answer kind of yes, no, or maybe, right? Yeah. So is that true? I'm not a top rep. And maybe today, let's say it is true. I'm not the top rep, right?
Yeah.
Right. So question number 2 is really powerful, because then you double down on it. Can you 100% matter of fact, known truth in the universe prove that that's 100% true? No, it's not 100% true that I'm not a top rep. We can't factually prove it. So now we know on the front end that we're dealing with the thought that's not even true, right? So it just kind of creates some space around it, right? It's not so black and white anymore. So now that's the edge is starting to soften a little bit more, right? So now I'll ask you question 3. How do you act and how do you show up / how do you feel when you believe you're not a top rep?
I would act very, like I feel small,
Yeah.
timid. I would say, no confidence at all, not inspired, not really motivated.
Yeah. Would you say abundant or scarce?
Oh, scarce.
Scarce. Would you say confident or timid?
Timid for sure. Yeah.
Timid. Would you be direct in your closing or would you be more passive?
I'd say passive.
Yeah. Would you be opened or closed?
Very closed.
Would you be pleasant to be around or a little standoffish?
A little standoffish.
Yeah. Would you be excited about your life or pessimistic?
Pessimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's be aware of some of our behavior, the way we're showing up, right? Question number 4, right? If this thought that I'm not a top rep just completely did not exist in your DNA, you never even thought it, wasn't in your body, was nothing you even considered, it was just completely vanished, like Men in Black, they shoot the thing and your memory's erased, right? And you just never thought about that at all. How would you act and feel?
Very open, very free, I would say, and very confident, like just excited.
Yeah.
I'm waking up full of energy.
Excited, motivated, opened or closed?
Very opened.
Yeah. Motivated or passive?
Motivated.
Yeah. Abundant or scarce?
Abundant.
Right. And then the last piece is called the turnaround. So if we're already ruminating on a thought that's not, we've already proved that it's not true, that I'm not a top rep. Let's do the turnaround. What's the exact opposite of that thought?
I am a top rep.
I am a top rep, right? And what do you think would naturally happen if that story, you're kind of forcing and willing that story into your mind?
Complete flip of reality. Yeah. Now we're going and we're moving towards this.
Yeah.
Until it is.
So powerful. So cool to see you make that turnaround. And I've used this tool a lot myself. And it's just, we are the story we tell ourselves.
Yeah.
Right. It's really kind of that basic personal development Henry Ford quotes, like whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then can we take the stories deeper? So it's like, yeah, that's kind of a basic story of like, yeah, I'm not a top rep, but where else, what other stories are you telling yourself? Right. I'm not wealthy enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not capable. I'll never find a partner. I'm never going to be rich, right? I'll never get in shape, right? So think about all the stories you're telling yourself and how would you act and feel and show up if you just didn't give those thoughts the merit that you're currently giving them. So really inspiring to see you make that turnaround. How long did it take for you to kind of move through that, kind of the depth of the darkness of that phase?
6 to 8 months.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is what it's called. You talk about people like, hey, I'm doing the work. Like you went and did the work.
Yeah.
Right. Were there any other tools or insights that were helpful along your journey of kind of getting yourself out of that hole?
Maybe not tools and insights. I think the biggest thing is to just have somebody to help you get through it. That is like, you trust, that you believe can work with it. Cause it's like, honestly, without you and Star, like I wouldn't have been able to work through it. Like find the people that know what the hell's going on and that have been through that. Cause it's like, dude, I was 20, maybe 19 when I was going through that. I'm still fresh. I'm still fresh. I'm 22 now. Right. So it's like, go and find some people that have been through it, have worked through it, that you trust, and let them guide you. Be open to letting them guide you. And don't allow yourself to fall into the negative thought loop, because that's where you just get worse. Don't try and overanalyze everything. Like kind of take a step back and work through it with these people. I mean, look into shadow work, like I wrote myself a letter. If I could write a letter to myself when I was in 7th grade, sitting on the bed with the knife ready to end it all, it's like, what could I tell this kid?
Yeah.
What did this kid need to hear that just nobody told him? Write that letter to yourself.
What was that for you?
It was mostly, I see you. Like I see you. You're important. You deserve the world. You're capable of anything. Because the story in that kid's head was completely flipped. It was, I'm worth nothing. I'm capable of nothing. I'm a burden to people. I can't do anything right. Why am I even here? Yeah. And he just had to go hear some someone believe in him.
Yeah. So powerful, man. Thank you for being so vulnerable. And it's just one of those, you look back at your life and you look back at this moment of just like, this is one of those moments where experiences where it literally changes the direction of your life.
Yeah.
Right. Your world just kind of opens up at a different level because you're building this new level of self-confidence. Right. And when you have that strong rooted foundation of self-love and appreciation, it actually makes you a better sales rep, makes you a better manager, makes you a better leader, makes you more healthy because you're working out more. Like everything, in my first book, Holy Shit, We're Alive, I talk about that, self-love is like the biggest secret to life.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start to really have that foundation of self-love, every part of your life just enhances significantly.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely something I've seen within you as well.
Thanks.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about too is, we had a little coaching session right before you left for summer, and we went on a hike, and you were telling me kind of your vision of what you wanted to create. I thought it was really inspiring, and you're following through on it now. You're like, I want to go kind of be the guy where go work for the summer, make money, and then like one thing I really admire about you, you live a very expansive life of travel, and I think you're jumping on a plane to Bali this week. Is that right?
Yeah, on Tuesday.
Yeah. Tell us more about this vision you have of living kind of this adventurous life.
I mean, it started off with me dialing in what I really wanted from the opportunity. And when I came down to, I mean, it's like the why principle of bringing it down layers, and we can,
So this is really important. So this is one thing I think we tend to kind of brush over. It's like, oh, okay, what's your why? And you'll kind of write like, oh, I want a house, and then you're done.
yeah.
Right. If you really do this activity of like, what do I truly want and why do I want it?
Yep.
It's incredibly powerful. So walk us through what's your why right now?
Yeah. So it's true. I think a lot of people have surface level whys, and everyone knows the saying, stronger the why, the easier the how. My why right now is like, I am just, first off, it's to see my team succeed, I would say is my biggest thing, is like, I want to go and help grow these people first. And that in turn grows me. Right. So that's like a huge thing. I'm going to go grow my region. I'm going to go and, have 10 6-figure earners under me within the next year or so. I'm going to go and build. Right. But my why personally is like, it's simply just pursuit of true freedom. Like, what is true freedom? Obviously, I'm going to work after I am financially free. But it's like, to me right now, it's like, okay, not having to worry about finances would be awesome for anyone, right? Obviously, there's always problems at every single level. Whether you have $0 or $1 billion, there's always problems, right? But I just want to explore. I want to explore everything. Like, just be an explorer of life. I'd like to go learn, going to Bali to go learn how to surf. I'm going to be living out there for 4 weeks, right? I want to explore, and I want to bring these experiences to other people. My biggest why, I would say, is to go and make as macro an amount of change to as many people as possible while I'm alive. Impact, I would say, is huge. Because I feel like I was born to have impact. I've always had impact on people, whether I knew it or not. And now I'm in a position where I can go and continue to grow and continue to build myself in the hardest machine possible, which is door to door. And it's just a great journey. I would say freedom, positive impact, and growing the people close to me.
Yeah, it's really inspiring, man. And I'm so pumped for your journey. I know you're gonna do a lot of fun travel and excited to kind of follow along on Instagram and whatnot. Let me ask you this, you're just wrapping up your biggest summer ever, right? What would you say were kind of the biggest lessons of this summer? And tell us a little bit more of how you have kind of stepped into more of a powerful leadership role, and what kind of were your biggest leadership lessons this summer?
I learned a lot this summer. I would say the most important thing I learned is the concept of identity and solidified identity.
Yeah, say more.
I had always heard Zaza tell me like, hey, I talk to myself more than I talk to other people. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Like, you're crazy, But come to find out, this is when I had the realization. I was in Correlation one day, and we're having a training, and they're talking about how like these top reps in the industry could have a meteor hit the earth, and it will not change their thought process of, I'm the best, I don't bagel, I am confident, all of these I ams. Like, that is just solidified identity. Like, anything can happen, and they're like, no, screw you, like, I am that guy, right? And it's not like letting the ego outbalance it. It's like just a solidified identity that they have. It's a solidified internal belief system.
Yeah. What would you say are your top identities right now?
I would say before the summer, I didn't really have any.
Yeah.
I would say now my top identities is, I'm an explorer of life. I'm inspiring. I'm the greatest leader. I'm the greatest salesman. Like, I'm a ball of positive energy to be around. I'm influential. I can accomplish anything I put my mind to. Like, those are some of them.
Yeah, I love this. This is a activity I learned from Casey Baugh back in the day, but it's this concept of, in the morning I sit down, I write I have a remarkable, so like a notepad, a digital notepad, and I write, who is Doug Cartwright?
Mm.
And I'll fill out 40 to 50 things a day, right? And the first two are always the same, right? I am a force for good, and I'm pleasant to be around, right? I think just kind of those two for me. Like if I can be focused on, I'm pleasant to be around, and I'm a force for good.
Yeah.
That'll kind of navigate, and then you go down the list. I'm an incredible athlete. I'm financially unbreakable. I'm disciplined. I'm dedicated. I'm determined. I'm healthy. I'm a ball of positive energy. I love that one,
Yeah.
right? I'm the hardest worker I know. I'm consistent. I'm dependable. I'm reliable, right? And it's crazy how when you do that practice consistently over a long period of time, like it's true magic. Like it literally changes the way you show up, the way you tackle problems, the way you handle adversity.
Yeah.
And I can feel that from you too. You feel really a lot more rooted and grounded in yourself now.
And I would say to take it to another level, like because I wrote it down before. I wrote down affirmations my rookie year. Saying it out loud and talking to yourself, like before my closes. I remember reading Psychology of Sales. It was like this guy came in, he was the top agent in the company within 6 months. Every time before his close, he'd be like, I'm the best salesman on my team. I'm the best salesman in the company. I'm the best salesman in the country. And he would just continuously say this all the time. And like while I was literally driving, like I wake up as I was going to bed too. Like every time I wake up, I go to bed. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me tomorrow. I wake up, I believe something wonderful is going to happen today. It's beautiful. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm abundant. I'm grateful. Just on the way to the gym, like just saying this stuff. And at first I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. But within 2 weeks, I remember hopping on the phone with Clayton Nelson. Shout out Clay. And I was Clay baby. Love that guy. I was just talking about this newfound sense of identity that I have because of all this stuff I'm saying out loud and I'm writing down. And I believed it. And it was a fake it till you make it, I guess, type of thing. And it sounds kind of crazy, but it's like the more I said it consistently, I believe it now. Like I am a ball of positive energy. I am the best to ever do it. I am inspiring. And like without a doubt in my mind, like anything could happen. Anyone can say anything to me. I don't care. That's my story. That's my identity. And it's solid.
Yeah. And it really just changes energetically the way you show up to situations. Right.
Oh,
It
for
just
sure.
completely changes the trajectory of where you're going. I mean, you're still so young in this industry, but what would first year Max not believe about your life today?
Everything. I would say just like the great community I have around me. I have like a solid like 3 best friends. I have a solid 25 other friends. My family, my relationships are better than they've ever been. I have more money than I ever thought I'd have by this age. Like I'm not the one that's going to drive the nice car and whatever. Like I'm very conscious with it. And it's like I'm traveling. Like I've been to 15 states plus probably. I'm going to Bali. That was literally on my top 10 goals when I went to my first Tuesday night training when I was 18 with Jax.
Yeah.
Moved to Bali, learn how to surf.
Yeah.
And it's actually because originally it was like moved to Bali with my friend Colby because he was planning on going out there. But it's like I'm making these things happen that I wanted. And like it was like I'm writing it down, but I'm like, it probably won't happen.
Yeah.
And here we are. I think everything about my life, I think the identity that I have, like if 18 looked at me now, like, whoa, like it would be mind blowing. So,
Yeah. And it's one thing that's so cool. It's called impossible goals. And you look back, we only have to go back 3 years, 4 years for a younger version of Max to see your life today and think that's impossible. Like there's no way that's possible.
yeah.
But you've proven in 4 years that you, again, going back to identity, you are the type of person who achieves impossible goals. So knowing that you're the type of person who achieves impossible goals, you've already done it, right? That should give you more confidence to look forward to as you start to plan your life and plan your top 10 goals and think bigger, right? Knowing that like, hey, I've already done the impossible. I can do it again.
You just light bulbed me. I've never thought of it like that. That's very cool.
Yeah. And so it's something that I do quite frequently too. I'll look back at like, okay, how far do I have to go in the past for a version of me to see my life today and feel like it's impossible.
Yeah.
Right. It's usually 3, 4, 5 years, not very long.
Yeah.
Right. Then it's like, okay, now that as I think forward, right, of my life and my goals, what are some things that feel impossible that I want to put down, knowing that I'm the type of person who usually figures out the impossible goals?
Yeah, you can only connect the dots looking back,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's experiment. Yeah. Looking forward to I mean, you're going to go do Bali, right? You're going to go have fun. You're going to enjoy your hard work of the summer. But
Mhm.
what's the vision now for you moving forward?
Yeah. So this upcoming year, I now have some reps in California, some reps out here. I have a few that are going to be like closers with setter pods this year. So it's like I have a great foundation. I have a few guys that are like some of the most solid guys. Like I would go to war, I would die for these guys.
Yeah.
So it's building, it's exploding the program. It's going and recruiting 30 to 40 guys.
Real quick, touch on recruiting, right? So one thing that I want to acknowledge you about, I think the reason you're so successful with recruiting at times is because you're so authentic, right? Your team isn't the typical door to door, you know, freshly returned missionary Mormon,
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
You guys are it's a very unique feel. Like Meta feels like it's a totally unique culture that's just so unique, right?
Right.
So tell us a little bit more about being authentic and recruiting in the way you guys recruit, because it's very unique.
Yeah. I would say if you recruit off money, you're kind of a jackass. Like I almost got recruited off money my first year, and then I realized they were sketchy. So yeah, authenticity's the biggest thing. It's like people can feel authenticity. And when you're authentic and successful, it's like, yeah, I can have this guy over here saying, "Oh, you're gonna make $100,000, and we'll give you a free car if you hit this many accounts." It's like you can have that all day long. But a lot of people recruit like that. When you go and recruit, you have to recruit off vision. You have to recruit off, hey, first off, where do you want to be? You don't recruit off of your vision. This is something I learned my third year. It was like, okay, I was recruiting off of people being a part of my vision. It's no, how can my vision help this person get to their vision? Right. And so it was like, I had all these people, and then I started, when I'm in recruiting meetings, I'm asked, hey, what do you want from life? Like realistically. A lot of people don't actually even think about it until you ask them. It's like, hey, what do you actually want from life? And my job is to go and show them, hey, this is how my operation gets you from point A to B. And I'm going to have your back 110% through it. I'm going to lose sleep over you. I'm going to miss meals because of you. As long as you reciprocate the same amount of effort, I am going to give everything I have to get you to your goal, right? Like my goal is not even in, obviously it is on the back of my mind, but it's like the way to go and achieve your goal as a leader is to go and get your people to their goal. In turn, if you're feeding the bottom of the chain, everything goes, right? Like you need to go and make sure that they're getting, and obviously, Plato principle, make sure that you're giving your energy into the correct, people and not wasting it on others. But at the end of the day, you get them to where they want to go. You get to where you want to go easier, honestly.
Yeah, it reminds me of one of my favorite leadership quotes from Jeb Blunt, who says, people are extremely loyal to those who help solve their problems.
Mm.
And a lot of times, you said it really, really well. A lot of times leaders try and get people to buy into their vision, when like true leadership, true growth is actually inspiring people to follow and achieve their own vision, not yours. And so that making that shift, that was big in my career too. And it seems like that was kind of a revelation for you too. And it's in those moments when that clicks, and then you can actually, fulfill on it.
Yeah.
Right. You can actually help someone get to where they want to go. It's also the other concept where it's, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll always get what you want.
Mm.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so making that shift, it's gonna be really exciting to watch you blow up this year.
Yeah. I'm stoked.
Yeah. Well, Ponyboy, I'm inspired by you, brother. Yeah, it's been really cool to watch your journey. You're still so young. It's so exciting. Just in the couple of years I've known you, you've really like stepped into being a man, and I'm very confident that your greatest and best work is still ahead.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show, brother.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.